Yo, welcome to GForce Golf. I'm Stuart Small, founder and inventor of the GForce Swing Trainer. And in today's video, we are looking at putting. I've got the GForce Putter here with the super flexible shaft. And I'm really going to simplify it for you, because it's just too complicated now, isn't it? You're thinking about every single muscle going on in your body, every single joint. And you don't need to do that. There's a much easier way to learn how to putt. And this just doesn't apply to putting, it's applying to every single golf club in your bag. So I'm here to simplify everything, declutter your mind, give you the tools and the training that you need to become a better golfer much quicker, so you can enjoy the game and get out there and, get fit and have some fun, basically. Nothing worse than topping the ball down the fairway all the time or taking 4 or 5 putts. So I'm here to help you out. So appreciate you watching this video. When it comes down to putting, ultimately, like I've said in all my other training videos, you need to be able to strike the ball out the middle of the club face. Whether it's a driver, a 7-iron, a wedge, a putter, you have to hit the middle of the club face. Because when it comes down to putting, for example, if you hit off center on your putter face, then the face will move around, it'll open or it will close. A good thing to do is grab your putter, just hold it up in front of you. So you're holding it at the very top of the grip, so it's dangling down freely. And then just start prodding the face, all right? Prod it on the toe end, prod it on the heel. You're going to feel it wobbling around, and then just keep prodding and gradually move your finger towards where you feel the center of the face is. And then what you're going to feel is that wobble is going to disappear, and then your putter is actually going to swing back and through without any wobble on it. That's the center of your putter face. That's the part you need to hit. A lot of putters will have a couple of lines on the top maybe. Some won't, so it's worth doing that little finger prod, find out where the middle of your putter face is, because you've got to hit that part, and you've got to tell your brain to be aware of that's what you actually want to do. That's your focus on hitting the center of the putter face. So that's number one, strike, hitting the middle of the putter face. Now, what's going to help you strike the middle of the putter face, just like being able to strike your 7-iron, your wedge and your driver, is having the 3 degrees of motion. So you can see me, I've got all these markers all over my body. These are reflective markers that are on all of my joints of my body. And you can see I can move everything around freely: knees, ankles, hips, shoulders, elbows, wrists, okay, neck, head. Everything needs to be completely free if you want to be able to strike that ball consistently at the middle of the club face. If you're locking anything out, you got problems, because what we've got to do is we've got to fire the kinetic chain. So the kinetic chain is the transfer of energy from your body into the golf club. Okay, so you're still doing the same in putting. You've got to have that chain, that efficient transfer of energy. So it's important to make sure basically that you're completely relaxed when you're over your putts. Okay, now there's lots of different putting styles out there. I'm not going to go into it too much because there is no correct way of doing it. Basically, if you look at putters from many years ago and putters to the recent times, they're all very different. There's lots of different grips, so I'm not even going to be talking about grip. Lots of different stances, lots of different ways of swinging your putter. Do you go straight back? Do you have more of an arc on it? Are you in between the two? So really, you're going to find it yourself. It's going to give you the basics of what you need to know on how to putt, and then you're going to go out and sort of play around and find your own natural putting style, because the more natural you can be, the more of yourself you can be when you're putting, when you're driving, when you're hitting your iron shots. You'll be a much better player. You've got to be yourself. Right, so if you're trying to be somebody that you're not, it's very hard work, right? You've got to be your own tempo, your own mindset. You got to be 100% yourself, because then you're going to be able to putt, swing, play golf more naturally, right? It's no use trying to copy someone else or copy a technique of someone else when it's not going to match up with your body, right? The way you do things. So be yourself, follow these simple instructions, and you'll actually find and feel your way to a really good, efficient golf swing, and you're going to enjoy the game. Right, let's get started then. So we know that we've got to strike it. We know we've got to free up. All right, so especially the wrists, your hands, and the wrists are really important. We've got to get everything nice and soft in there, like I've been talking about with the 7-iron video, the wedge video, and the driver video. You got to free that wrist up, really important. Everything's a bit too locked out these days, too mechanical. We're not a machine, we're human. We have to have a little bit of freedom in our movements, in our motion, to allow our brain, our central nervous system, to do things for us subconsciously. Okay, and you're only going to do that if you're staying completely relaxed and not thinking about it too much. Right, so we know we've got to strike it. We know we can strike it if we have the 3 degrees of motion. Everything's just nice and loose and relaxed. When I'm gripping my putter, just, basic grip, I've got my left hand at the top, right hand at the bottom, thumbs are going down the grip. So what I'm going to do once I'm gripping my putter, if I'm totally relaxed, let's give it a bit of a waggle, I can feel the weight of the putter head dangling down on the end of this shaft. Okay, that is really, really important. Imagine if you had a ball on a string, all right? So you got the ball, so imagine the ball is the putter head, the string is the shaft. We just want it to swing back and through, like that. All right, so if we're letting the ball on the string swing back and through, look at how predictable that path is. So if I want to move it over here and hit an object over here, I can do that. Or move it down here. Because I know where that putter head is and how it's swinging, I can predict its path and where it's going to go. So if you're gripping it really tight, locking your wrist, your elbow, your shoulder, and then you're trying to move this putter around, this putter head, I can't feel the head anymore. So you try this, you grab your putter, squeeze that grip, and tell me whether you can feel the weight of the putter head. You won't be able to do that. Okay, because then if you can't feel the weight of the head or have any sense or awareness of it, you got pretty much no chance of trying to get that club on the ball how you want to. So we want to get a relaxed grip, relaxed wrist, relaxed elbow, shoulder, everything. And then we want to feel it swinging back and through like that. So when I take my grip, I'm going to try and feel that again. Nice and light, feel the weight of the head. And then I'm going to swing it back and through. So I can feel it swinging pretty much like a pendulum, not conscious about what my body's doing. I don't have any swing thoughts. I can just feel the heavy weight on the end of this shaft, this flexible shaft. So you don't want to be yanking it back or forwards and making this thing wobble around too much, because if it does wobble and bend too much, it'll tend to start off on the wrong line, or it'll come off the face way too quickly. So we're almost trying to keep the shaft nice and rigid as we swing back and through. Not too much loading or unloading of the shaft. Just, it's like a putter head on a string almost, that nice pendulum motion. So the cool thing about the putter is the shaft, really flexible, just like the rest of the clubs. And it's really going to help out with your rhythm and tempo. Because if you're getting a bit too yanky or a bit too stabby, or if you suffer with the yips, it's really going to help smooth things out for you, because you're almost trying to imagine you've just got a weight on the end of a piece of string, and we're just trying to get this sort of pendulum motion going. Or imagine the ball on a string, so we're just trying to work it back and through, almost letting it swing on its own momentum there. Obviously different length putts, you can speed it up, you can add a little bit more acceleration as you come through, but ultimately if we can get this free swinging motion, You know, this putter head, this weight swinging back and through, we can putt consistently. We can strike it consistently. We can get the ball starting on the right line consistently, which is the key to putting. You know, once you've got your 3 degrees of motion, which gives you the strike, gives you the swinging of the head, the pendulum motion, which improves your rhythm and tempo, we're then looking at the start line. The most important thing when you're putting is getting the ball to roll over and start on the right line. When I say get the ball to roll over, what you want to do is get a golf ball, draw a line all the way around it, and then when you place it on the ground, you know, point that line towards your start line. When you buy the GForce putter, you're getting a putting gate with it. So you want to get the putting gate out. It's got a little stand on it, and you're going to place it 2 to 3 feet in front of where your ball is, and then you're going to place your ball so the line on the ball is pointing to the center of the gate. You want to hit the ball through the center of the gate. The gate is very small, a bit wider than the ball. So if your face is a little bit out of line when you make contact with it, or you strike it poorly, you're going to hit the gate. You're going to knock it out of place. So what we're looking to do, if we strike the ball correctly at the middle of the face and we get it rolling properly, the line on the ball will just roll over continually. All right. If we hit it with a bit of an open face, closed face, or the path is a little bit dodgy, what you're going to find is that line, rather than rolling over, you know, just like a tire or a wheel, it's going to wobble. It's going to wobble around, and you're going to hit the gate. You're going to miss the center of it. You're not going to get the ball through the gate. So that's the best way to practice putting. Get the line on the ball. You know, visually you're going to see how it comes off. You could put the gate a little bit further forward if you want. If you got you know, a nice flat run, so you can see really what the ball's doing. You can take the gate out of the way, you know, because then again you can focus on the ball and focus on the roll of it first, maybe before you start using the gate. Because if you put 5 balls in front of you, you could sort of hit one down. Let's say you're hitting about, I don't know, 20 feet or so. And then you can have a look at the roll. You know, is it continually rolling over, or is it wobbling around a little bit? If it's wobbling around a little bit, you just ask yourself, well, am I nice and relaxed? You know, you do a couple of swings. Can I feel the weight of the head? Am I keeping the shaft, the GForce shaft, nice and rigid? Okay, then you go to the ball, and then you fire, and then you have a look and see whether it's rolling over properly. So you've got to get that first. The ball has to roll off properly. If it doesn't, if it's wobbling around, then you're not going to get a good starting line.